All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Let me tell everybody we're back before we start. We're recording now.
I think it's live now.
Okay, we're back. Let's give it about 2-3 minutes before we come back on, and we'll be back on. All right. All right, it looks like we're back in action. So, George,
We back on?
yeah, we're back on.
Okay, cool. Let's see. All right, back ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
Cool. All right, guys, apologize about that. Little pattern interrupt. The guys are on the road, so internet went a little in and out. Not quite sure where we got cut off, but I think it was just somewhere in regards to the whole part we were just discussing, consistency. And bottom line, just kind of wrap up that piece. Again, people are just watching you. They're watching what you're doing, and again, if you're consistently, again, bring value to the table, and again, just the mere fact that you're continually doing what you're doing, moving forward in your business, and showing people again that this isn't just something that you're trying out. It stands the test of time. And so over a month, over 3 months, over 6 months, over a year, over 2, 3, 4, 5 years, this is what you become known for, and this is what you're about. And this is also very important too, that you're not that person that is trying to do 50 different things. You have 50 different businesses. You aren't really known for one thing, because again, that just turns you into kind of a jack of all trades, and again, this all is coming back to the beginning of just confidence. You're trying to convey confidence to somebody in a product, in a service, in your business, and what you're doing in you. And so if you aren't taking the time to master something, if you're trying to be the person who wears 50 hats and has 50 businesses and 50 different biz ops that you're trying to do, that you're probably going to have a more difficult time conveying that confidence in what it is you're doing and your brand and your ability to lead somebody down the right, proper road. And all of this just really piles into, belief, and the rapport that you're going to build with somebody. So if you're able to, collectively pull all of these pieces together, then ultimately you're going to have somebody's belief. You're going to transpire your confidence from yourself into another individual. And just realizing that everybody's different, so you have to be a chameleon. You have to wear different shirts here, different hats sometimes. You have to realize that you're going to have to work with each and every single person a little differently. Some people, they might just take, one connection. Some people might take 7. Certain people might take 6 months, like the person I just mentioned a minute ago. But ultimately, in you going through all of these pieces, you have to realize that, again, there's multiple ways to achieve the same result, because at the end of the day, you're all on the line. You might have your own business already, whether it's a brick and mortar, an online business, a biz op. You might be looking for the first time and looking for a new opportunity to start a new business, looking for a biz op. But at the end of the day, regardless of which boat you happen to be in, again, it all comes down to the fact that you're going to ultimately need some form of product service to be moved if you're looking to make money. Ultimately, obviously, the higher ticket the item is, the more and larger potential you have to, financially be successful within an opportunity. And ultimately, you need a large volume of traffic pouring into, again, an offer, again, with a large ticket item, and then you need things in place that are going to sell those items. And in some cases, those are going to be online systems. In some cases, that might be you having to be on the phone, having to have some conversations. If you're like Joshua Elder, that might be just in the form of videos. By putting enough value out into the market through videos where people are able to form a relationship through videos. Either way, you're going to have to develop relationships with a large amount of people, develop rapport with a large amount of people, and be able to transpire your confidence in products and services of what you're representing to a large group of people. All this just comes down to, as well, your actual belief in what you're doing. So it all comes back and transpires to the very first thing that I acknowledged tonight, which is your purpose, your why. So why are you doing this? You should ask yourself that. What is your purpose? I know what my purpose is. I know why I'm doing this. I know why I've partnered with, Brian, Travis, and Josh. I know what our vision is. And it's huge. It's massive on a global scale with what we're looking to do, to be able to free one person a day. And that's different for every person we work with, but to ultimately to be able to work with people all around the world that are currently in positions that they don't like, working 9-to-5 jobs that they don't care for, just doing things, bottom line, to pay the bills, to make money, to get by, as we call it, to buy material possessions, but bottom line are not living a fulfilled life, not living their life passionately, and not living, bottom line, their life on their own terms by their own design. The past, almost 4 months of my life is the first time that I truly can say that I'm truly free. I've really experienced a level of freedom that I don't feel many people get the opportunity to live. And it's something that is a deep passion within inside myself and my partners, and us as a company, Limitless Lifestyle, that we want to be able to free people, to allow people to have this same type of freedom, to be able to design their life, by their standards of what they want to do in their life. It doesn't have to, mean that you're going to be a millionaire, drive a Ferrari, and live in a mansion. For some, it might, but it's merely the sake that through utilizing systems, creating some automation, through learning new skills on how to drive traffic, through mastering at least a single way of doing these things, and by being able to convey a large amount of confidence within, products and services and yourself and your ability and your own company, to transpire an automated income for yourself that surpasses what you would make at a 9-to-5 job. And when you're able to get yourself in that type of a space, where your income is greater than what your expenses are on a monthly basis, and you've done it in a way with not trading your time for money, that allows you to really get in a space where you can really discover what your true purpose is, what really matters for you, how you really do want to live your life. So that's, my why. That's, my partner's why. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And again, I would just kind of put that out to you guys out there, everybody on the line tonight, is that if you don't really know what your why is, or what your purpose is, that's really where you should be starting with. That's really the most important element, is to really figure out why you're even doing this. Because if you can't really dig deep and find a burning desire within yourself to know why you're doing this, whether it's this or some other opportunity or a job or whatever you're doing in life, it's most likely not going to work out for you or for anybody. And it's not because the system or opportunity is flawed or failed. It's that you don't have a fire burning deep and hard enough within you to push you and motivate you when things might get a little challenging. When you do hit your first little bump in the road, when you do have to push past that moment when maybe somebody doesn't believe in you or somebody's telling you the opposite. So these are really important pieces when you're kind of taking a look at this, to just understand that if you're going to own a business, if you're going to do a biz op, and again, just to kind of tie this all back to the beginning of why we got on this call, again, if you're going to close, a large ticket item, to earn a commission of 500 to 1,000 to 3,000 to 10,000 or 100,000, or however big you desire to, earn and create for yourself, you have to just realize that you have to have that deep burning desire within you to know your purpose, know your why of why you're doing this, because that's going to allow you to have ultimately the belief in yourself. You have to make sure that you're representing legitimate companies, legitimate products, legitimate services that are ultimately bringing massive value to the market, and ultimately pulling all of this together. That's going to allow you the confidence, whether you're talking on the phone, whether you're messaging somebody, whether you're shooting a video to put out online, but again, to convey ultimately that confidence that's needed for somebody to be able to feel good about making a large financial decision, whether it took them a day, a week, a month, or a year, but that you consistently put that value out into the market. And that's really it, guys. So, all together, those are some of the bigger pieces that I would kind of pull together. That's just kind of some of my thoughts from, my life, my career within sales, what I've done. And then again, having the luxury of partnering and working with, Travis and Brian and Josh over the past 3 months, witnessing their businesses thriving in different ways from how my business was thriving. And for us being able to merge a lot of these pieces together, I'll just again leave you with the fact of, feelings. Feelings are very huge in a lot of different ways. But if you can think back of any time when you've made a big, like a really big ticket purchase in your life, whether it was a car or a house or an expensive watch, it doesn't really matter what it was. Typically, when you make a big purchase, you usually feel pretty good, and that's usually why you make it. And if you're not feeling so good, for whatever reason, you typically possibly aren't going to make that purchase. So I'm sure every single person on this line can resonate with that and have an idea of sometime that you walked in a store, even if you knew you wanted something, but maybe the salesperson approached you wrong. Maybe they said something really stupid. Maybe they just didn't make you feel good. Maybe they said something about their product or service that made you feel the complete opposite all of a sudden, and made you not feel as confident in the product that it was going to deliver on what it was saying. But a lot of this, again, just comes back down to feeling, and so when you start thinking of all the things we've kind of discussed on the call today, all of these things are ultimately resonating a feeling within yourself that's ultimately transpiring to other people, to allow them to have a feeling of confidence or not, to feel good or bad about you, the products and service and companies that ultimately you're allowing yourself to represent and be a part of. So ultimately, guys, again, I know there's a lot of different people on the line tonight, some already in businesses, some looking to start a business, and I would just, give you guys a direct call to action here that if you're somebody on the line tonight who is looking ultimately for an opportunity to really take your life to the next level, to really work with 4 people, that have the ability to mentor and coach you and work directly with you in a way to put you on a direct path so that a lot of the confusion is taken out of the way, to give you the direct steps of how we went from, in a lot of cases, broke or homeless, or in not good situations, to ultimately being where we're at now, which is living a limitless lifestyle, traveling the world full time. All four of us are working from our laptops. We're on a webinar right now while Brian and Travis are literally in the Freedom Ram truck driving across the country right now as we speak. You know, I'm in Detroit, Michigan. I'm getting an opportunity to, you know, freely visit with my family and just, you know, enjoy my family for the week. Josh is enjoying some of his family back in Utah right now. And next week or so, we'll all be joining back, the four of us, in Miami, which we're going to. So that's going to be the next run for us for the next couple months while we work on our visas, so we can get long-term status to be bouncing around Europe quite a bit longer. But again, guys, I just give you a direct call to action to, if you're really ready to make that change in your life, if you're really ready to commit to yourself, if you can really understand what your purpose is, of why you're doing this, and what you're looking to do in your life, and you're ready to have some direction towards that, to take action. And you know, I'm not sure if the guys put the link out here to be able to click, to be able to join, to be able to get started with us. If not, connect with us individually as well too, to private message us. Either way, we're all for here for everybody on the call. We look forward to, you know, hopefully at some point personally meeting you guys, connecting with you, and ultimately, again, just working with you guys towards your dreams to hopefully be able to free each and every one of you guys towards your limitless lifestyle. But I'm going to pass the torch, not from my end, so I don't know, Josh, if you want to take it over, or Brian and Trav, you guys want to hop on?
Well, if Travis is going to take the reins, I'll take more stage time. But I think it's your turn, brother. I think it's your turn, Trav.
Well, actually, the Brian hop on. So we'll let Brian hop on for a minute.
If that's okay with Josh.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us, Josh?
I sure can, brother. I can barely hear you just a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You can barely hear us? Can you hear me now?
That's a lot
Is
better.
that better now?
Yeah, that's better.
All right, cool. Yeah.
We just had it plugged in. I think it's okay up here, but we just had it plugged in. But yeah, I'm just going to make this quick because I am driving here on the road. I'm reiterating what George said about consistency. That is creating success in all areas of your life. And it's not just consistency in one area. I mean, it's consistency in all areas. But the one thing that really changed, I guess, where I had my breakthrough was consistency in who I surround myself with on a daily basis, and consistency in what I continually input in, I guess, in my environment on a daily basis. And that's what really changed, I guess, my life and created the success that I have. And what I've seen and noticed is that now surrounding myself with people like Travis, like George, and like Josh, who have what I want in my life, and also have this same vision that I have. I mean, working together with them and creating what life. I mean, they got started in this business. They made a decision to, you know, get around us because we have the results that they want, and we have the skills, and you don't necessarily have to know what we know to create success. That's why you have us, and that's why you can leverage us, and we will help you create the success that you want in your business, and that's why we're here. And ultimately, you know, for us, our goal moving forward and our vision moving forward is, again, to help those people who are, you know, really dedicated to creating that success in their life, and really, you know, making that decision to step outside of the comfort zone. Because if you continuously do the same thing consistently in your life that you're doing right now, you're going to consistently produce the same result. And I say consistency because if you consistently change and consistently step outside of your comfort zone each and every day and do something consistently different, you're going to consist. It's going to be something that seems like a miracle in your life, because that is exactly what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to Josh. That's exactly what happened to Travis. And that's exactly what happened to George in just 6 months. And now look at him. You know, he's created a six-figure income for himself online. Results not typical, because George decided not to be typical and decided to step outside of his comfort zone and, you know, take consistent action towards his dreams. And it just shows you the power when you actually make a decision. Get started with people who have what, you know, you want, and have this necessary skills to help you leverage have the necessary skills that you can leverage to create, quick success much faster than we worked our grind it day in and day out for months and even over a year to be able to see the results that we have. And now you can leverage that and create almost, not instantaneous results, but I mean, you can create results in a very, very fast very quick amount of time. But that's really all I have to say here. Sorry, traffic is coming up, so I just don't wanna be on the call here for this too much longer. But that right there is all I have to say tonight. I don't know if can you hear me?
Yeah, I think you can hear.
Okay.
You can hear him, right?
Can you hear me?
Josh?
Yeah, man. Loud and clear, bro.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't know if you guys could hear me.
Perfect. Cool. Now just down here looking at the. Sorry, not good, man. This is wild. Just listening to Brian got me fired up. I know we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but yeah, we're back. So that's the cool thing. This shows a lesson, a quick lesson. I just thought of it right now about having hiccups, but then not stopping. Because for us, it happens right now live. And if you're on this hangout and you're listening and you stuck with us even to this point, you know that what we've been saying is true. I mean, you see it. You see it in our life. Some people are out there wondering, what is the secret? What are you guys, what are you guys doing? Like, what, you guys haven't, said anything really. But in reality, if you look at everything that we said, it makes complete sense because it just shows in our life. Anyways, I know where I was going, but back to the hangout just dropped off. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the signal. I don't know if it was the device itself. But I could have done two things. I could have got upset. I could have been like, oh, curse this technology, curse this internet. It should be working. Or I could be like, it happened. Let's move on. Let's fix it quickly. And we did. Instead of me stressing about it, and I got it fixed like in a few minutes. And now we're back here live, and now we get to share, our story with you. But just real quick, guys, because I know I'm on the road and I might drop out again. But for the folks that don't know me, my name is Travis, also known as Good Life Tribe. I've been in online marketing for almost 3 years now. It'll be 3 years officially this coming October. But before that, I'm just a regular guy, guys. Like coming from working a 9 to 5 for the past 5 years. Well, not this past 5 years, but the 5 years prior to coming online. And for me, it wasn't something I wanted. To be realistic. My passion was traveling. My passion was not only traveling, but also helping others achieve their goals. I mean, I always noticed that I always have that that skill where I could use my skill sets to help them. I'll be glad to do it. And just coming online and be able to teach online marketing and to show you guys how to market any product or service online, and to even exist many people within the industry with helping them get traffic, helping them set up their funnels, and doing the little things that people often leave by the wayside. Because the reality is, guys, people are tired of the bullshit. So if that or people want the hands-on work. People want to be handed. In reality, that's what it is. And if people are willing to pay the necessary money to get it done, it happens to us. $5,000, $3,000. Our products, our services, because the value we bring to them. George said it so perfectly. When you provide massive value, right? And guys, and the folks that have been here and listen, I'm gonna tell you what it is right now. When you provide massive value, right? Massive value, you can charge accordingly. You can charge. What am I still on?
Lisa said it one time too loud. We can barely hear you, like in and out more of a robot.
Oh, like a robot? Oh, that's cool. I'll be a robot then. At least I don't spend society like a robot. No, I'm joking, but it's cool though. I'll keep going. But like I was saying, guys, hey, where I left off? I forgot what I was talking about. Let me snap right in, back into it. It happens, man. But yeah, when you provide a value, right, and you're actually helping people, you're actually showing people, you know, what to do step by step. It's not, some people might come in, oh, I'm gonna come at the $47 level, you know, and try this out. You know, that's cool. You know, but in reality, that's just to see the behind the scenes look and to learn the basics of online marketing. That's why we charge that upfront fee. And of course, in the back end, we're gonna have upsells. Like, guys, we're in 2015. Like, things cost money. Like, think about your college education. Some of you might went to college. How much do you pay for college, right? Some of you 20, 30, 40, depends on where you're in the world. You paid a sizable amount to go to college. And with that degree, you learn skills, right? And with that skills, you use that skills to do what? Get a job, right? And now you're at the point to where you're working 9 to 5. You've probably been in the workforce for 10 years, and you're wondering, damn, am I going to keep doing this for the rest of my life? And I'm not saying nothing wrong with that, because trust me, there's a lot of people out there that love their job, they love what they do, and you know, bless their heart. You know, we need people, you know, that, you know, the truck drivers that are driving here on the road. We need people, you know, the servers that serve us, you know, our dinner. We need that. That's fine. But I'm talking about the person that was like me, right? That was sitting at that desk 3 years ago, and I was just sitting there, just frustrated, unhappy with my life, unhappy with my job, not happy with how things were going forward. And guys, I beat my head against the wall for years, 10 years. You know, George's talking about a couple years, man. I was like, 10 years? I've been trying to do MLM, home-based business type, work for myself, period, entrepreneur, trying to find a business to do for myself for so long. And the reason why I failed time and time again is because I didn't surround myself with the right kind of people that have the right kind of information. Because the reality is, you know, it's tough to find a mentor. It really is, like, no lie, like, because there's a lot of BS out there. There really is. But a lot of BS. There's a lot of BS out there. So find a high quality mentor that's gonna help you out. You know, show you the way, show you the step-by-step process, show you how to get high ticket commissions. Guys, that's priceless. And you know, once you learn that skill, like I always say on my other webinars, once you learn the skill that we're about to teach you, when you click the link below this video or on the other side of this webcast, that's when, guys, that's when you can go ahead and be more of a service to the world, more of a service to your community. You're able to help local businesses with your newfound skill set, learning how to market yourself online, learning how to gain more exposure, right? Because that's what you know, people ask, what do you do, guys? Online marketing. But in reality, it doesn't matter what you do, because people are buying you. They're not buying the system. You know, that's why we don't really talk about iPass or Power Network or any of that. That's just the behind the scenes stuff, man. Like, what people want is you. They want the real you. They want the genuine you. That's why I'm not afraid to be myself. You see me, guys, I curse on this hangout. Like, who cares? Like, seriously. Because in reality, I'm looking for the people that are just like me, that are going to curse at me once in a while, that are passionate. That are passionate about what they're doing. That are passionate about quitting the 9 to 5. That are passionate about helping their family. That are passionate about doing something different that can really impact the world, guys. And man, I will speak forever. I will speak forever. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to George. And actually, we're gonna bring some people out. Let me go pass that to George, guys. But you know what? It was a pleasure. Hold on, let me. Am I still here? It was a pleasure, guys, to share my story with you. To be out here with you guys. I know we're on the road and the signal might be a little choppy. I might be sounding like a robot and it might be cutting out in and out. We do apologize, but hey, this is what it is, guys. You know, we committed to being in this hangout. We're supposed to be at Josh's house at this point, but somehow we miscalculated our hours, and now we're like 2 hours remaining. So Josh, we'll be seeing you soon, man. We're like 2
Very
hours away
soon, brother. Very soon, man. It'll be a dream come true. And you know what?
Right.
Dude, right, man. One thing I wanted to interject, because I'm looking the comments here as well, and seeing people asking exactly, what is it that I will be doing? What is it that I will be doing? And I'll be transparent and I'll tell you exactly what it is that you'll be doing. And not that that actually matters a whole lot, because what matters is that you can take anything because you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing, and you can create whatever results you can create. That's a definition of being an independent person and being able to create something out of nothing. And that's truly what entrepreneurs do. Entrepreneurs create jobs for people. Entrepreneurs innovate things and create things. Look at Elon Musk and what he did with Tesla, and what he's doing with SpaceX, and what he's doing with just the world and how he's innovating it, right? So if you're wondering exactly what it is that you're going to be doing, all we're basically doing, okay, is we're using Facebook, Instagram, and other marketing vehicles such as YouTube, forums, free traffic and paid traffic. Basically, traffic is customers, and we're directing them into the system, okay, which basically does all the selling and telling for you. You don't have to be a salesperson to do this, and that's basically what the process does. It goes through a system, and then you're introduced to products and different services that help you develop yourself in a way to where you have the confidence to be able to promote whatever it is that you want to promote out there. If you want to, build, if you don't have a business, we'll give you a business. If you're a part of this business, it'll teach you how to build other businesses, from consulting businesses, coaching businesses, fitness businesses. It could be a pizza parlor. It could be anything that you're building out there. The products and services that we teach you how to do that and develop yourself in a way where you're confident to be on video and speak your message into the world. So that's basically, what is it that you're selling? That's what you're selling. But does that actually matter? To some people it does, because those are the people that are going to continue to struggle because they're focusing on selling a system instead of selling themselves. So why do we keep speaking about our transformations and about the way that we've transformed? That's exactly why, because that's what sells. Real results sell. Transformation sells. If I was to tell you, yeah, you can plug into this and it does all these things and it'll sell all these products for you and you can make $3,000 a day and blah, 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 is that really going to motivate you to take action? Or is it seeing that other person on the other side of the screen that's just like you, that's had a transformation that you can resonate with, because you can say, hey, you know what, that person's not so different than me. That's what creates the true transformation into somebody and creates results in their business. And I just want to interject that, Travis. Didn't want to go too long, but I also wanted to answer some of the questions that are in the comments below too as well, and just kind of bridge off of that. So, are you still there, brother? It looks like we don't have Travis. It says we're still live though, George. So if you want to take it away, brother, I don't know if you had somebody that you want to introduce, or if you have some results that you want to talk about from people in your team and stuff like that. Take it away, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if they got disconnected because of Brian and Trav as far as the testimonials that we wanted to bring aboard today. So if they get connected, I think Brian and Trav could probably connect them. So obviously we could bring out, I know we had a handful of testimonials we wanted to bring out today. I guess the one thing while we're waiting, hopefully, to get them connected back up to just kind of share with you guys is that a lot of our team are having wins and are having pretty quick wins, and that's a very important piece to this business as well too, because again, if you're coming to the business and ripping all this traffic and getting some sales, but your people aren't having wins, then you got to take a minute to kind of step back and kind of ask yourself what you're doing. At least in my opinion, you do. So to me, that's really important, even if it's just small wins, to see people in this industry start having wins for the first time in their lives. And wins can look a lot of different ways. It could be the fact that they did get their first sale and made $20 to $100, $1,000, or $3,000 for the first time in online marketing. Just being the mere fact of, again, creating some residuals for themselves. A lot of people aren't used to being paid residually, where you do something once, structure something once, and you can be paid month after month. And again, whether it's $20 that you're getting every single month, all the way up to $10,000 a month, or $100,000 a month, or $5,000 a month. But just being able to help people establish a residual in their life is a big piece of, again, not just having that financial freedom that a lot of people are seeking, but actually having, again, the actual time freedom that I think most of us really ultimately want, almost more than even the financial freedom. And I think that's ultimately why a lot of us even chase financial freedom, is for that time freedom. But I know personally, and again, I don't know if they're going to be able to get them on the line, but you know, I had Liz come aboard just a little over a month ago. You know, didn't know her, complete stranger, and you know, she found me through my Facebook ads that I had on Facebook, and you know, instantly, you know, got on the phone with her, and you know, it's kind of a good conversation for us to have, because it challenges a lot of things we discussed today about, you know, selling high ticket items, because she was a complete stranger to me. So, you know, before she, you know, purchased anything, she had questions. She wanted to talk. She wanted to make sure this was real. And so I did get on the phone with her, and I had just a very real conversation with her, you know, just, you know, sharing my story with her, who I was, what my vision was, what my mission was, what I was looking to do ultimately. And she challenged me a lot, you know, called me out on a lot of things, challenged me on a lot of different things. And, you know, by simply having a human conversation with another person, and by answering the questions she had, I was able to, you know, in a series of a couple calls, to develop enough rapport where she did ultimately decide to come all into the business, you know, of what we do at the highest level, to, you know, earn a large commission for myself. More importantly, though, was for her, because not only did she make a commitment to herself, she came in at the highest level, but she instantly took action. She instantly did the things that were needed to do. She was coachable. I gave her the exact steps of what I did when I came into the business. She instantly did it within 24 hours. 2 days later, she instantly got her first couple sales. Within her first month, I think she did like 10 or 11 sales, somewhere around there, her first month in the business, which was far more than I even did my first month in the business. And I think just this past week, she got her first black card sale herself. And again, I mention this because, you know, like us coming into the business, she did things in a certain way. She was coachable. Again, she didn't just try doing everything. We specifically targeted her towards specific things of what to do and how to do it. She, out of anybody I know, is consistently driving value home every day. If you know, check out Liz's fan page or even her personal page, she's somebody who is consistently, in my opinion, just putting massive value out to the market, and somebody who as well is consistently growing and learning. I know on a daily basis, she's consistently, every time I talk with her, reading a new book, listening to a new audio, going through different trainings, you know, again, trying to grow and become bigger and better within what she's doing to be able to impact something greater. So again, when you kind of align yourself with these pieces and again are able to do that, you're able to gain results. And so whether it's her or, you know, Erica as well too, who for, you know, I think a little over 2.5 months was, you know, structuring, getting everything going, and then instantly, you know, we had some conversations, things started to click. And within a conversation call went from no sales to instantly popping her first 2-3 sales, and that night one of them going black as a black card member as well too. Again, releasing a $3,000 commission. You know, there's, you know, story after story with, you know, and I could share with, you know, different people on my team, or as well with the guys on their team, with people that are getting results. But you know, I'll just tie this back down to everything we discussed today. It's just the fact that, you know, coming into this type of business, it's not about trying to do everything. It's not about getting distracted with everything, because that's very easy to do. It's more important to again, just zone in and focus on one step at a time of what you're doing and doing it very well. And then again, just making sure that you're mastering what you're doing. You're continually bringing on a daily basis value to the table, not for yourself, but for others. And if you continually do that each and every day, again, you're going to create that pattern, that habit, that consistency that people are going to see. And that's going to allow people to develop a relationship with you through pictures, through stories, through posts, through videos, through the content you're putting out there in the market. And again, that's going to allow them to increase their belief in you and why they'd want to follow you as a leader in the first place. So I don't think we got the guys back on the phone. So as much as I'd love to bring some testimonials out today, I think we're going to have to save that for the next call. But I could sit here talking all night long because that's just what I do. But you know, I'm not going to keep you guys on the phone all night long here. But I just really want you to understand that, you know, myself, Josh, Brian, Trav, we're not somebody special. We're not dim any one of you on the line tonight. And I don't say that in disrespect to any of us. Like, I love my brothers. Like, these guys are like my brothers.
George, we have a question from the panel.
Yeah.
There's numerous people messaging in and asking if you'd change shirts.
I did. I'm glad a couple people caught that. So I was waiting to see if anybody was going to catch it. So I actually purposely changed my shirt. I think maybe 4 or 5 times on this call for you guys out there that are watching me closely. Thank you. But I did it for a reason, because, you know, tonight we're talking about closing high ticket items. And, you know, when you're, you know, closing and ultimately high ticket items, you have to be a chameleon. You have to be able to change shirts. You have to be able to flip hats. You can't wear the same outfit for every single person. And so I'm glad you guys caught on to that. I specifically did it for that reason. Me trying to be clever. But it's the truth, you know. You can't treat everybody the same. Everybody is a unique individual in themselves, even though all is one when all is one, and we're all one. Each and every person, again, has their uniqueness and is going to reach their level of comfort in different periods of times. You know, sometimes people are going to need to come into your business at a smaller level because they're just unsure. You know, they might have all the money in the world, but they need to sniff it out a little bit, check it out a little bit, and you need to let people do that if that's what they need to do. Sometimes people are going to react quickly, like myself, and see something, the light bulb's going to go off, and I'm going to lay $4 or $5 grand down on the table and go and do it and go for it, because I know what I want in life. And when I see what I want, I go after it and I get it. And I do what I have to do to make it happen. But you have to realize, again, when we're kind of talking about all these things, that there's no one script that fits the bill for every single person on this earth. There just isn't. We're all humans, and you're going to have some human conversations, sometimes over the phone with people. That's part of this. And you're going to probably have some human conversation through messages. And again, just realize that at the end of all of this, even though we talk about making money, we talk about making sales, we talk about numbers, we talk about conversions, at the tail end of all those numbers and all of that money lies human beings with their own goals, with their own dreams. And that, to me, in my heart, is what's important here, is not to ever lose sight of the people. You know, because I feel there's too many people in the industry that do lose sight of that. And all I hear them talking about all day long is about sales and money, numbers, not really realizing that behind those numbers and behind their checks that they're cashing and the money they're spending are people that, you know, believed in them enough to dish out $500, to dish out $10,000. To dish out whatever they dish out of their pocket that they probably worked pretty hard for. And so it's important, guys, to change